On this episode of Spotlight, we've got Louise Hallam from Still Calm. Definitely probably a future business of the future, should I say. It's probably a business that you guys that are watching in corporate land or as entrepreneurs will probably find your business calling upon due to the weird mental health battle and challenge that all of us are facing during this time of COVID-19. So definitely worth a watch if you're thinking about calmness and mindfulness in your day-to-day life moving forward. Just tell us about Still Calm.
Sure. So Still Calm is my business, and it is to empower senior leaders who want to lead with soul confidence and to lead with excelling leadership without the stress and struggle. So I mainly work with energy and emotion. So I'm getting people to understand what the unique stresses of their role are and to balance their energy and emotions so that it can be really effective in a really simple way.
Amazing.
And that is what I do.
Amazing. That is, we could all do with some of that. So how did you end up in doing that? Have you got a background in that?
I haven't, no. Yeah. I have a corporate background. So like a lot of people who go into wellbeing, you have this moment in your life where you suddenly realise that the work that you've been doing for the last 20 to 25 years is not what you're meant to be doing at all. And there's a reason why you always felt as though it wasn't the right thing. So I started my wellbeing business 4 years ago, and I started off teaching mindfulness and meditation, so I'm a trained meditation teacher. And the reason that I took up meditation was that, so my mum, she has bipolar, she's always had it, and she's always had periods of time where she's been in psychiatric care. And she'd go through these cycles where she'd be well for about 7 years, and then she would crash and burn like really, really badly. And then she'd be sectioned, and I thought we were done. To be honest, I really thought we were done. But about it must have been 4 years ago, she had her latest episode, which was really bad, and she ended up back in psychiatric care. And I think as you're old, although I've got loads of coping strategies, I think as you get older, things sometimes stress you out more than they used to, and I just found the trauma of going to visit her was just something beyond something that I could cope with. And I was like, how do I manage this? And I thought, well, if I try, like meditation, I need to be calmer. That's what my main aim is. And it worked for me so that I could at least arrive in a calm state and I could calm myself down when I left.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I suddenly thought, oh wow, this is the thing that's going to help me. And it's going to help other people. So that's why I wanted to train to be a meditation teacher, which is what I did.
How do you help people?
So what I do is actually transcendental mindfulness. So it's really about changing your thoughts and beliefs to go beyond and surpass anything you've ever thought before, which means that you can then fulfill your potential. And I also use techniques to move energy and move emotion. So once you've kind of moved all of that out of the way, it's a bit like you were saying before, you almost clear something and then you've got a new view on what's happening. And that new view, part of that is being able to do more than you ever thought you could do.
Yeah.
And to do it from the place of simplicity so that it's not stress and it's not struggle, because we weren't born to stress and struggle.
Best part of your job?
Best part of my job is the transformation, people that I work with. It's those light bulb moments, I think, where they just go, oh wow, I've been carrying this, I've been thinking this for however long, and I don't need to think it anymore, or that has unlocked a part of them that is what they were meant to do and what they were meant to be doing. Working for myself, I think, is a big plus. So I've had to do a lot of retraining my brain and my body to go, you don't have to work from 9 till 5. Nobody's going to come and check if you're working. If you go and have a coffee with a friend, nobody's going to come and, hunt you down.
Did you work that out quite quickly?
No, it took me
me
quite
neither.
a long time.
Me neither.
I'm probably a bit embarrassed to say how long it took.
Yeah.
I think it was probably about... I don't even know if I'm still there, to be honest. If I'm there.
I used to ask Jules if it was okay if I went to the gym, and she'd say, "You're in charge." I'm not going to go to the gym then.
That's it, yeah. Can I do this? And if I'm not still sat at my desk, staring into space at 5 o'clock, then I've not done a full day's work.
So I'm going to ask about your biggest inspiration.
Inspiration.
And this can be anything, really. I mean, mine are very weird.
I think I read a Brené Brown book the other day. I often get directed to read certain books and certain texts and for certain people. And she is a quite an inspirational writer, but she talks very much about this thing of we want to belong to something, we want to belong to a group of people, but so that quite often means that we won't step out and actually say who we are and who we think we are and what we believe in, because we're worried that people aren't going to like us or whatever. Where actually, if you just decide that you don't care about what anyone else thinks, and you do it anyway, nothing happens. Nobody. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So it's being able to sort of stand alone whilst belonging. It's quite an interesting theory.
And what we were talking about before we went on to film about like the problem that the world's got, that is it. You've just summarised it in a nutshell, because everything is so much more turbocharged as the perception that other people care what you're doing when they don't. It's just your perception of it, because you think that everybody can see it and cares. That's a big problem.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what you just sort of like. That's why we were talking. Okay, it feels so much more turbocharged.
Absolutely.
At the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I do teach perception in my program because perception isn't real. That's the whole point.
Yeah, it's the whole point.
It's the way that we see things is often not the reality. So if you start to question what you perceive, you'd get to the point where underneath that is something completely different.
Yeah. You talked about no one actually told you what to do when you set up a business. What is your biggest setback and how did you overcome it?
I think a bit as though we talked about it's this expectation that it's all going to drop into place within the first, I think we were sort of saying 2 years or something basically, where you're just going to suddenly sit there and the phone's going to be ringing and
you're going to be busy and
you're going to be really busy
and
it's whereas I think it's the whole reality of it is just so different from what you think it's going to be. But having said that, working harder doesn't make it easier. That's a really good piece of advice. Because I think what I've seen is lots of people, lots of entrepreneurs particularly, wow, I do 16-hour days, I work Monday to Sunday. I'm just like, what? I actually don't do that. I work in bursts of energy and creativity and take time out to work out exactly what I'm going to do. So when I see people busy, I always think, that's nice.
Yeah.
As in busy doing things.
Yeah. There's a guy called, have you ever come across Gary Vaynerchuk?
Yeah, I've seen some of his
It's
work.
either your thing or it's not.
Yeah,
it's either your thing or it's not. And he spoke about this recently, about like hours that you put in, and he sort of said like classic thing that most people don't see about entrepreneurs is the hours that they put in. And he was asked the question about like, is your success all about the hours that you put in? And his answer was brilliant. He said like, no, I just like it. she was like, a 16-hour day to me is captivating and fun. And it's what I'm genetically predisposed to do.
Yeah.
And he's like, I understand that. I need to do that for myself, but I don't expect it of others. But he said, like, if you're thinking about doing a 16-hour day as just like grinding out 16 hours is the way to be a success, it's not. But if you really enjoy doing a 16-hour day, it does help.
I think that is exactly it. It's what works for you.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing is that you start to compare. You compare yourself to other people, and you compare to how other people are working and how they're running their business. And if you're having conversations with people, you're like, oh, that's how I need to be working. Whereas it took me a while, I think, to find this flow of like, okay, if I don't start work till 11 o'clock, that's fine. And I might spend an hour meditating. I might do some yoga. But that means that then when I start work, I'm ready to start work, and I'll be more productive working for 2 hours than I am working for 8 hours.
Right.
So yeah, but if you have a very frenetic way of working, and 16 hours you can churn out the work, then yeah, go for it.
Top tip for anybody starting out. What is the one thing that you would go back and tell yourself to do again?
I'm really clear that it's getting a good group of people around you. So either join like networking, or just find people that are starting off at the same time as you, but more importantly, are a bit ahead of you. So they can give you some real heads up about the pitfalls straight away. So one, you don't waste time, but you don't waste money as well, because I think when you start, you automatically think, right, I'm going to pay for this, or I'm going to pay for that, and you start throwing money at things thinking that's maybe going to solve some things. Whereas actually, if you did a bit more strategic work, a bit more planning, you'd be better off spending your time doing that. So really, surrounding yourself with people who are going to lift you up as well. So they're just eternally positive about being an entrepreneur, and they're not going to drag you down into the pitfalls of other things.
Into their fear for you.
That's it. Yeah, and it's going to be this, and this, and check in with people. So get people that you can check in with regularly.
I totally agree with that.
And I think for me that's been the best thing, because I think, as you mentioned, so when you do a lot of this work on your own, so you sat there, talking to yourself, is this a good idea? Is this a good idea? Should I do this? Go for it. Whereas actually, you just want someone to go,
that's a good idea.
That's a good idea. Or give it a bit more thought.
Yeah, maybe think about that one again.
Yeah,
that's my mentor's favourite.
Yeah,
you should think that through a bit more.
Yeah.
What do you where do you see yourself being in 10 years' time?
So you just really throw me that question, because
I the dream though.
I said
go for the dream. I know what my dream is. My dream's living in a commune in Ibiza, looking at this magical rock with all the people I love, primarily wearing pants most of the time because it's warm.
I think that's it. I think when you said 10 years, I was like, I'm not working in 10 years' time. That's what I think. That's why it's doing me. But I'd like to live somewhere more in the country, actually. If we're going on places to live, I really miss being in the countryside. But for my business, I think that's what you're asking, not when I'm planning to retire, is I'm working on like a global organisation now. So my focus is very much now on sort of PR and working globally, because I have a mission and a purpose to help leaders to lead differently and to be differently. So for me, it's international is 10 years.
Exciting.
Whether I can do it, whether I can actually go.
Exciting.
Different.
I think you will do.
Whether it's on screen.
I think you will do. Thank you so much. I've loved talking.
Yeah,
So
it's
that was
been great.
amazing. Fascinating chat with Louise Hallam. I think the top tip from this episode is it's the importance of finding a group of people that share your belief and share their desire to support you in achieving your dream of running a business, if that's what it is. But that logic also applies if you're looking to forge out a career up the corporate ladder. You're going to need to find people around you that are prepared to buy into your dream and support your vision. Otherwise, the journey is going to be long and lonely.